So beyond holding numbers and text and creating tables and things like that, like we've seen in the previous videos, Excel can be very powerful to do math and other functions. And that's perhaps where Excel's greatest power is. So let's talk about the very basics of formulas. So if I wanted to type in a formula here, I might think that I can just do 10 plus 5. And if I hit enter, what you'll see is instead of actually having a formula that does anything, I just have 10 plus 5 as if that was text. If I want to enter a formula, I have to tell Excel I'm doing a formula by using the equals key. So I do equals 10 plus 5. And when I hit enter, it calculates the correct answer of 15. Now this goes back to what we talked about, that what shows in my cell is not always what I've typed in. So I typed in equals 10 plus 5, and what shows is 15. So important to remember that. As we come down here, we can do equals 10 minus, just use the dash key on your keyboard, 5, and that is 5. So it's doing it correctly. I have 5 here, but I actually have the math formula inside that cell, and that shows up here in the formula bar. That's how you can always see what you've typed in. So we come down here, and for multiplication, we do equals 10, equals 10. Now we can't use the x. Some people might think you use x to represent times. Instead, we use an asterisk. So that's above the 8, so shift 8 equals 10 times 5. And if I hit enter to confirm, then I have 50. Perfect. Now for division, I do equals 10, and I use the forward slash. Forward slash is what we always use for division. Equals 10 divided by 5. Enter, and that is 2. I'm going to come down here now. Exponents, you might not use exponents a lot, but they're there if you ever need them. So I can do equals 4, and I need to raise that to the 8th power. And if you remember from math class, we typically represent exponents using the caret, and that's above the 6, so shift 6 equals 4 to the 8th. And I hit enter, and that calculates it correctly. I'm glad, because I don't know that answer off the top of my head, so that's where Excel is really useful. We can do a lot of math very quickly without having to memorize things. Now, here's a throwback to your old math classes. We've got the square root of 16. If you'll notice, you don't have a square root key on your keyboard, and unfortunately there is no symbol that represents the square root key. Instead, we have to go back to what is the actual math. And it's just like when we were talking about percentages before and using decimal places. If we remember back to how we actually calculate the square root, we do equals 16, and then the caret, the 1 divided by 2, right? It's the 1/2 raised to the half power. Now this is going to have a mistake, but we're going to go ahead and try it just so you can see what's going to happen. I've got 16 to the 1/2 power, and I hit enter. You can see that it actually has 8. Now the reason I wanted to show you that was to demonstrate order of operations. I'm going to click up here in the formula bar so that I can edit this. And what's happening is, if you remember your order of operations, it's always parentheses, then exponents, and then multiplication, division, add, subtract. So what's happening is it's taking the exponent here first, and that's what's causing our problem. It's going 16 to the 1 divided by 2, so it's going 16 divided by 2. That's why we were seeing 8. So to fix that, we just need to put some parentheses in. So I'm going to put a parenthesis here, and also a parenthesis before the 1, and that closes it in. So 1/2 will happen first, and it'll be 16 to the 1/2 if we hit enter. Sure enough, that works correctly. So when we're doing formulas in Excel, it's quick and easy, but sometimes we do have to remember basic math that we might have learned in middle school or high school.